it's Monique here with Grace and Tattered Lace, and we are going to recreate the pumpkins that I made the other day with the rope or the twine that my video decided to not record because my iPad was full of storage. I'm here in sunny California. I do not know how hot it is outside right now. When I went out earlier, it wasn't too bad. It was scorching out here yesterday, 102 degrees. We got some rain overnight because not only was it hot, but it was also humid. Anyway, as you're popping on, let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching a replay, make sure you also let us know where you're watching from. Okay, so I have this little sign that I got last year. When I was in Tennessee, I got this at a store called Pop It. You guys, I never knew what Pop It was. I drove by it many times, and be honest, I work in the world of speech, and my kiddos like those little sensory things, and I thought Pop It was a store full of those little Pop It toys until I went inside. Hi, Sue. How are you today? We are going to recreate my pumpkin using the twine and this sign that I got from a store there in Tennessee. You might have one there in Oklahoma. It's called Pop It. We do not have one of those here in California. I certainly wish we did. You guys have some really great stores there in the South that we don't have here. I'm a little jealous of you guys. Anyway, okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to paint over this. I'm just going to paint it brown to start with, and then I'm going to do my chippy look. I'm going to put some other colors over it. And let's see, what paintbrush do I want? All right. I'm just going to pour a little bit here on my piece and go from there. Sometimes I use a plate, sometimes I don't. I'm not picky. I think it depends really how big the piece is. All right, so we're just going to cover this up. I don't want those trees. I think I got this on the clearance after the holidays, so I think I only paid a couple bucks for this little guy, which is not a bad deal. I love to hit the clearance sections after the holidays and get some good deals. All right. What's the weather like there today, Sue? I imagine that we are going to have some heat here again today. It was quite warm here yesterday. It was 102. Crazy, crazy hotness. I didn't realize it was so hot until my husband and I had gone to a store for the third trip to the store when it was a little warmer yesterday. All right. I'm not too worried about the directions that I'm going because I'm going to go over this. So usually when you paint, you want to make sure you go all one direction if you're looking for that clean look. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe this off. I'm going to set this off to the side for a second. I'm going to get a towel or something to set this brush on. Oy. All right, let's give this a quick dry. Try not to get this on my dress. Okay. Anybody? Oh, yeah. Hot and humid too, I'm sure, Sue. 78 is awesome. That's a great temperature. That's perfect. I didn't watch the news this morning, so I have no idea what the temperature is going to be like, but I can only imagine it's going to be quite warm here as well. I don't really plan on going out. As I shared with you guys yesterday, I have to be on a liquid diet. You know, I feel really bad for diabetics that have to go on a liquid diet because there's not a whole lot you can have on a liquid diet that doesn't taste terrible. There's vegetable broth and unsweetened tea and coffee. Other than that, everything is loaded with sugar. My goodness, I bought popsicles. I've already had a bowl of Jell-O. My lord. This is my coffee today because I can't have coffee. Loaded with sugar. Loaded with a whole bunch of other crap too. But, yeah. I really feel bad. I was thinking about those poor diabetics this morning when I was in the shower thinking about what I was going to have for breakfast. Alright, this is taking a little longer to dry than I thought, and of course it's making me have a heat surge. Anybody ever tried pineapple Jell-O? It's my first time making pineapple Jell-O. I have to be honest, I haven't made Jell-O in I don't even know how long. I don't even know if I made Jell-O for my kids when my kids were little. We might have just bought the pre-made kind. Pineapple Jell-O. It's not red. I can have it. And it actually wasn't too bad. Hello, Stephanie. Thanks for coming on. Alright. Getting closer, you guys. I must have got it a little thick over here in the corner. It's still a little wet. And I need it to be dry. Hello, Beverly. Thank you for joining. Yeah, Sue, I didn't do that. I probably should have. I remember my friend's mom, her doctor told her to do that, and no doctors ever told me to do that, so I probably should have. And by the way, I saw your comment yesterday about the smaller container of prep. Yeah, no, I didn't get that. I got that giant thing. I did read on the directions, they said that I could mix it with some juice, so I might try that. I don't know. It's nasty either way, no matter what I think. Okay, I think we're dry now. Alright, so I want to do this, my little chippy look that I like to do. And we're going to be using some fabric with some yellows and some blues. And so I think I'm going to put in some yellows and some blues. Maybe a little rust color. I didn't pull any rust color out, but I think I'll do some rust color also. Let me get a plate. Okay, so we'll do a little rust. Woo, that one I should have shaken. Some rust, some yellow, and I have like a mint color and a blue, but I'm not sure the blue's gonna show with this brown. I don't know what I was thinking. Ooh, messy. Oh, darn. These things are always so hard to open. Might have to poke my scissors in there. Drink it with a straw and ice. Yes. Put the straw in the back of your tongue so you don't taste it. Yeah. That definitely was on the directions as well. I don't remember having those directions before, so I will be doing that. Maybe I should put it in the blender with some ice. Make it a smoothie. No, it won't go down as fast. I won't be doing that. Bye. Have fun. Hubby's going to the store. All right, let's see. I think I'm going to stick with these 4 colors. I'm not sure the blue's going to show up too well, so we won't worry about that. And let's get our little my little Dollar Tree brush, and we're gonna just kind of put this on just randomly. You guys, I'm just putting this on. This is gonna be underneath. I'm gonna put white over the top, and I just want this to kind of peek through when I do my chippy. Okay, we'll get some blue here. I just like that color to pop through. It just looks like an old barn that's been painted many, many times. Okay, there we go. Let's see if this blue shows. Ooh, the blue does show, you guys. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll hold it up in a second for you guys to see it. Okay. All right. Look at that. Yeah, the colors, aren't they beautiful? Oh, Trish, I am recreating the pumpkin twine project that I made. I tried to record it and I didn't realize that my iPad storage was full, and so it stopped recording. And I saw that it had stopped recording, and then I just turned it on, and I thought I'll just mash the videos together. But then I only realized it was only recording in like 10 or 15 second snippets. So I was like, well, that's fabulous. Brenda's been asking me to redo it, so here we are. I have this giant roll of twine that I didn't use. I had forgotten I had it. Obviously wonderful. And we're gonna make a twist on what I did before. Let's see. So, oh, you've been doing it every year for the past 5 years. Oh my gosh, every 5 years for 40 years. Horrible. Yes, the last time I had mine, Sue, I did have some precancerous cells, and so now I'm on the 3-year plan. It's pretty horrible. I'm a little late. I shouldn't have waited. Okay, so yes, Trish, I'm going to use a little twist on it. We're going to add some of this in with my twine. So I'm just going to give this a quick dry, you guys, so that we can put some Vaseline on here. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you have me just going while you're doing your laundry. Yeah, Trish, I originally had purchased that twine because I wanted to make some really cute beehives. I just never got around to it because, well, life happened with my move. Thank you. It's actually a cute little dress. I'm a creature of habit. When I find something I like, I buy a lot of them. So I bought a couple different patterns and different styles of dresses off of Amazon. I thought I only had like 7 or 8. I counted the other day, I think I have 11. I'm horrible. Okay. What's the wrong way? Alright, so let's add some Vaseline to this. Get my little handy tool. We're going to make this nice and chippy. So I'm just going to add some Vaseline randomly. Kind of want to make sure I get most of it on the top part of it where my pumpkins are not going to be. Okay, done with that. Let's put some white over the top of this. Let's get a clean brush. That brown one was not going to work. All right, so now I'm just going to take my Waverly plaster, chalk paint. Ah, okay, yeah. I'd love to see a picture of the beehives that you did, Trish. Wait till you see the twist that I have on this and you're going to take it back to your beehive. It's what I had intended on doing with the beehive when I was going to make my beehive, but I just never got around to it. I was sharing yesterday in my live last night that when we came back to California, I was here for a week and got in a car accident. I was hit head on, and so I was sitting at the stoplight waiting for it to change, and I got hit. And anyways, it really put a damper on life, and a lot of things got put on hold, and so I have a lot of things that I didn't get around to. Okay, so let's just get this done, and then we'll chip it, and we will do the pumpkins. My paint's a little thick. I should have probably put it on a plate and thinned it just a little bit. And I'm getting it on the sides, which I did not want to do, and I think that's because my paint is a little thick. I may have to go back and sand over there. Okay. All right, what are you guys all up to today? I know we all know what Stephanie's doing. She's doing laundry and getting ready for her trip. Very jealous. A nice little road trip. My coworker just went, and coworker slash neighbor slash friend actually just went on a road trip yesterday to take her daughter back to school. I forget where they're headed. All right, let's dry this. So you have no idea. It really could have been a different outcome. The officer told me that the guy hit me so hard that my car was pushed back at least 40 feet. The whole frame was smashed in, and I'm just very lucky. I'm lucky that I was in an SUV rather than a sedan. The guy had a very large raised pickup truck. He probably would have been on top of me. If there was a car behind me, I would have been completely sandwiched. Oh my gosh, Trish, how exciting, yet a little sad to have to send your little one off to boot camp. A long process. Where is he going to be stationed? I had two brothers that went to the Marines. I don't have anybody in the Navy. My girlfriend's daughter went to the Navy. Oh, I didn't see that. I did a blouse. So I'm kind of seeing what your comment was about you and your sister having the same thing. That's funny. I couldn't see the whole thing though. All right, almost done with this, you guys. It got a little messy on the sides of my frame here. Your son is a Marine. Oh, awesome, Stephanie. Is he been in for a while? Where is he stationed at? Both of my brothers just did their 5 years. My one brother was stationed in South Carolina. I forget where. Anyway, he now lives in Virginia, West Virginia. I think he lives in West Virginia now. And my other brother was stationed here near me in Camp Pendleton out here in California. And so I was able to go and see him several times, and he was able to come and stay with me. But he lived up north in the Santa Rosa area with my dad. Oh, he's in Camp Pendleton. I agree, Sue. I agree. I am proud of these young women that are doing that. Okay, so I'm taking my scraper and I'm scraping the paint off where I put that Vaseline so we can get that chippy look and have that, all those colors that I put underneath peek through. Okay. Stephanie, Camp Pendleton is very close to me. It's only about an hour away. Hi, Shelly. It's just a quick little drive down the freeway, as long as it's not like a holiday weekend or a good weekend that people want to go out there to do fun things in San Diego. All right. Let's get rid of all of this chippy mess. All right, you guys. Kind of looks like a hot mess right now. I think once we get the rope on here, it's going to look way better. It's going to really peek those colors through. Stephanie, I am in California. I am in a little, I wouldn't say little. I am located in Marietta. Okay, so I'm just over the hill from where you guys stay. You stay in San Clemente. My mom grew up in San Clemente. She was the first graduating class of San Clemente High School. Anyway, I am over the hill. I'm an hour away from you, where you guys stay. Okay, next up, you guys, I'm going to take, I've already pre-cut my, my rope. I have 3 pieces. I have 2 small ones and 1 big one. The trick to cutting this rope, you guys, if you work with this rope, it's a little bit thicker than your twine. To keep it from fraying, you can put some tape on the end. Oh darn, I forgot to turn on this darn glue gun. All right, while we wait for that to heat up, I think we will paint. I have an arrow here that I want to paint because we're going to do something with this. I'm going to cut this. I got this I got this at Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to take this little rope off because I don't want the rope. And we'll paint this, I'm going to paint this white, or this plaster color, sorry. I always call it white. Yes, it is quite beautiful here. Can get hot though. It's pretty hot today. Yesterday was 102. Where you guys stay out in San Clemente, it's a little bit cooler because you guys are closer to the ocean. But I'm only about an hour away if I take a scenic drive through like a mountainy area, and it kind of goes through to the other side. Okay. We're going to do something with this once we do the pumpkins. So this is fine that I actually can paint this and we can set it off to the side and let it dry while we do the pumpkins. All right. Let's turn it, and I probably just got paint all over my table. I forgot to put a puppy pad out here. I have a, what is this stuff? Wallpaper like coverage that I put to protect my table, because I have one of those really nice expensive tables, you guys, that I got at Home Depot, and I love it because there's drawers that I can store things on right here at the top, and then it's one of those standing tables that goes up or down, so you can sit or stand. All right, let's set this off to the side. All right, hopefully my glue gun is warm enough now, you guys. All right, so we're gonna start with the longest one. And I'm gonna take some fabric that I've already torn into strips, you guys. It's only about a 1/2 inch wide. You don't want it to be too wide, otherwise you're gonna have difficulty getting it to wrap around your rope. Because then it will twist and you'll get the front and the back, and you don't want that. You want it to be all of the front. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue and I'm going to put it here like so. Okay, and then I'm just going to twist this fabric piece around my rope, but I don't want to have it completely covered, so I want it to be something like so. Okay. Because when we put this on there, I want the rope to also show with the fabric. So I'm just going to twist this around. It's a lot easier, you guys, if you actually cut the rope into the size you want it to be, or guesstimate anyhow, so that you can twist the fabric around the rope, and then you want your fabric to not be, you know, like connected to a spool or anything like that if you're using ribbon. All right, so I'm just going to put some glue down here in the middle. And we're going to start our pumpkin. I probably are going to get my finger protectors because I always burn myself when I'm working with this hot glue. This one's a little bit wider. I decided to use the wider rope this time versus the other one. I just used twine, a medium-sized twine. I didn't get enough glue here. All right, so you're gonna pull your rope in nice and tight to start the center. And I'll show you in a minute as soon as I can get this to kind of stay. And then I might have gotten like right over some Vaseline here, you guys. Okay, so then you're gonna take your hot glue and you're just gonna kind of go around the rope, and you're gonna twist your rope. Twist your rope around and hold it. And let me show you what that's starting to look like. Let me just make sure that it's secure. Okay, so you can see I'm just starting to make a circle. And we're just going to keep going around. You might have to kind of play with it when you put your fabric on there. It's probably easier if you do it in a smaller pieces and not get too far ahead, because then it shifts. Okay. All right, so then we'll just put some more glue around. And secure it down. And you're going to probably have to use a couple pieces of fabric strips. So have yourself some pre-made, and you can attach them together as you continue to make your circle. Just like so. And you just can keep going around until you get to the end, until you get it to be the size you want. I kind of pre-measured this because I want to put I'm going to put 3 on this one. The last time I did this, I only did 1. And so I just kind of made it as big as I wanted as I went along and decided where to stop it. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm getting kind of to the end here. I'm going to get another piece of fabric and I'm going to glue them together. So then I have an added piece to it because your fabric can only go so long. And hopefully we can get that part, that's the seam, tucked around as we glue this down. You have to go in small spurts because you want to wrap your fabric as you're twisting also. And you don't want your glue to dry up. Okay. Oh, goodness. And you're just going to keep on going. We're almost there, you guys, with this particular one. I can't wait to show you what the other 2 are going to be. I have a beautiful vintage silvery like lace that I got from Joann's that we're going to use for one of the pumpkins. Okay. Getting to the end, getting to the end. I might have to cut another piece of fabric. Didn't measure it. Well, it's kind of hard to measure too when you're twisting it. Yes, okay. So I have another piece here. Hopefully I might have to cut another one. This one was too fat. Oh, there we go. Okay, so guys, when you're making a fabric ribbon, all you do is just put a little slit and then pull. And you want to go with the grain. Okay, so we're going to attach these together. A little more glue. And then just keep going. Oh, 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 it's still hot and I should have waited. I'm trying to burn myself here, you guys. All right. Okay. I'm gonna keep going here. We just have a smidgen left of this pumpkin. The next ones will go a little bit quicker because they're not gonna be quite as big, you guys. All right, and when I get to the end, I'm gonna take, I have the tape on here. I wanna make sure I take the tape off so that it doesn't fall apart with the hot glue. I'm just going to glue the end there. Hot. Oops, put a little more glue than I had product. Okay, this is going to look so awesome, you guys. I know it's hard for you to tell what it looks like, but I cannot wait to show you the end result. Okay, so there's one pumpkin there, you guys. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for coming on. Okay, so let's do the next one. I have the next rope here, and we're going to use this one. Okay. Get this tape off of here. And then we're just going to take our little piece of fabric strip. We're going to glue a little piece on here to the rope. And you got to let it dry like I didn't do. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, and then we're just going to twist just like we did before. Twist around. Getting it started is the hardest part because you don't want it to go too close together, and it's just, okay, so then you're going to start your pumpkin, and you're going to pinch it in and make a circle. And it takes a little more glue to get that. Woo! Yeah, on the fingers too. Probably should put one on this finger. Owie. Okay. Now this one, because I have a smaller space, it's likely that this pumpkin might get to be a little bit more like an oval type shape, which is totally fine because, you know, pumpkins are never the same shape ever. You can get all different sizes and shapes, which is the best part. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold this here till it gets a little bit dry so that I can work with this. All right. Hi, Sunshine, my friend Sunshine. Thank you for coming on and joining. I'm so jealous of your trip that you had to Hawaii. All right, so now I'm just gonna keep going around in this circle. I want to space my fabric out a little bit because I want that twine to show through. All right. You guys weren't on earlier and heard I'm having a procedure tomorrow. I have a colonoscopy. I have a family history of colon cancer, and so I have to make sure that I get my colonoscopy done regularly, and I am on a horrible liquid diet today. So far I've had Jell-O and chicken broth. It is no fun drinking chicken broth for your coffee, you guys. That is what I had this morning. All right, getting there. Okay. So I might have to cut my rope a little smaller than I had planned, because when I was prepping this, there's no glue, and so I'm able to manipulate these ropes and squeeze them, where once the glue is on here, I cannot squeeze them. So we will probably end it right there. Come on. Let's get some more glue underneath there. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so cute. Let me get this down. All right, there is pumpkin number 2. Wait till you see the next one, you guys. I'm gonna take it off the spool. Look at this beautiful ribbon. I know that this camera just doesn't do it justice, but it's like a cross between, it's not really silver, it's like a gray, it's like a slate gray, and it has a little bit of a shimmer to it. This is one of the ones that I got at Joann's, you guys. 75% off, $4.99 to start with. So whoever wants to do the math and figure that out, I think it was like, I want to say for some reason it was like it was a little over $1. It was like going to the Dollar Tree at Joann's. And it came so many colors, and I went ahead and bought, yesterday I bought one that was a really nice lavender. I know I don't need it right now, but I thought maybe somewhere down the road I could definitely use it. Okay, so same thing, we're just gonna put a little bit of glue and hold this so that it sticks, and then we'll start the other pumpkin. Some really pretty colors, you guys. If you guys have a Joann's near you, you guys need to go check it out. There's an ivory, there's a, what color is that? Kind of like a rusty color, tan, and I got the lavender. I think there was a pinkish colored one too, but I opted to not get that one. All right, let's get this one started. Same thing, you're just gonna start your circle. I hope these are gonna be straight, you guys. I just totally eyeballed this and didn't even measure. Okay. So I had a sign that I got from Pop It last winter from the clearance section after Christmas. I painted it brown, and then I put some colors over it. I used some yellow and some rusty orange and a blue and a tealy type color. No, it was more like a mint color. Underneath to kind of give it that dimension that I'm wanting underneath to give it the chippy look. And then I painted it with Waverly Plaster. Used the Vaseline and scraped some pieces off. All right, and remember when you guys do this, if you decide to do this, that whatever pieces that you're wanting to use, a ribbon or fabric, that it needs to be fairly thin. You don't want it to be much more than a ½ inch. Otherwise it's gonna twist and you're gonna get the back side of the fabric. Unless you have a double-sided fabric or double-sided ribbon that's the same, it will work. If you want to do a bit thicker ribbon, but it does twist a little bit. That's the problem. if you get it to be too thick. And you guys can do this. Trish was on earlier and she said she makes beehives. I was gonna do beehive and I just didn't have time, but this was the plan that I had to do with my beehive, was to wrap the ribbon or the fabric around the rope like this to give it that, you know, more vintagey, rustic-y look that I like. So you can do the same thing with that. My ribbon is a bit long. All right, almost done with this one, you guys. I think this pumpkin's gonna be a little higher than the other one. Well, poop. Okay, squeeze it in here. That's all right. All right, let's cut this bad boy here. So I'm gonna be able to squeeze it in there. Let's see if I can squeeze it on the side. I think I can squeeze it just a little bit, just to make it equal. Oh, these scissors are terrible. And remember what I told you guys, if you put tape around it, it really helps cutting it. It definitely makes it easier to cut, and it also keeps your rope from fraying. Okay, almost there. Woo, hot. I have these things on for a reason. I always forget. You still haven't done more laundry? Oh, girl. Hopefully you have it done before you go on vacation. Okay, you guys, look at how stinking cute. I wish I would have paid more attention. I think this one's a little bit higher than the other, but oh well. We'll put more moss over there. All right. Next, we're going to put some Spanish moss underneath. I got this one from Joann's. And I just like this one. It's a little bit, it's not as dense as the one from Dollar Tree. Well, the one from Dollar Tree will just most definitely work as well. This one I think is stringier and curlier, and pieces seem to be a little bit longer. Okay. Looks fabulous. Let's put these things back on. All right. Ouch. Stephanie, you'll just have to wear your pajamas the whole time you're on vacation. Not sure if Chris will like that though. Yes, Sue, she does still have time. Stephanie, when do you leave again? Do you leave tomorrow or on Tuesday? All right, you guys, there we go. Look at that. Okay. Next up, we are going to use the little stems that I got from Dollar Tree that my husband, who is watching, I see you, so patiently waited in the car for me yesterday. Put some stems on there. We might add some greenery there. Oh, that's good. Tuesday's good. Still gives you time to get ready. I'm a last minute girl. Ask my husband, who is watching. I drive him crazy. He is very punctual, very matter of fact. All right, there we go so far. I think we need some greenery. We'll fix the greenery in a minute, but I want to show you the next thing. So we have this little, I have this little arrow that we've painted white already, and I want to add it here. Okay. Yeah, glue on the fingers hurt. Okay, so you guys, I want to add some stencils to this. I know that you all don't all have stencils, and that's totally fine. You could very easily cover this with a napkin to give it some a print if you wanted to have a print. And you could also use stamps to put wording. You can use Miss Stephanie from the Vintage Pebbles. Wonderful technique of printing something on wax paper and putting it on here that way. I do not have an inkjet printer. My husband and I have searched for it, and I cannot do that technique. So we have to make do and use a stencil instead. So I'm gonna put a little wax on here because I don't want my stencil to get ruined. And I'm gonna use two different stencils. We're gonna put a pattern and some wording. So I'm just putting the wax on one side and then turning it over and rubbing some of that wax off. All right. We're going to use the farmhouse tile. And we're going to fuzz this a little bit because I have not used this one. I'm not that great at using all of my stencils. I'm not gonna lie. I have so many, plus with being down for a little bit, I haven't been able to use a lot. Okay, so we're gonna fuzz this so that it doesn't stick to our arrow. Then we're just gonna lay this over our arrow and push it down and get all of the bubbles out. And I should have got my paste out first. You guys, I think I want to do this color, this shimmer copper. Oh, Steph, you've been looking for that one? Did you miss out on it? I prefer the beef broth and a little, ooh, the season from the top ramen stew. Fantastic idea. We are going to the store. That beef broth or the chicken broth I had this morning was horrid. I told my husband, this is awful. I was thinking about putting in some garlic salt to make it taste better. Okay, so I'm using copper shimmer, you guys. I think this is gonna give it that like vintagey fall that I'm wanting, even though the ribbon I have is kind of that slate gray. So I'm just gonna pull this through. Okay. Thank you, Sue. I probably should have thinned my paste out a little bit. It is a little bit thick. Hopefully we don't end up with it peeling up. Just get excited sometimes and forget to do that. Okay. Making sure that all of my screens are covered. And then I'm going to put the rest of the paste back in the container because I don't need it all. And then we'll just pull this up. OMG. All right, let me push this off to the side for a minute. I know I showed you guys the other day the little trick that I like when I use these big transfers. I should have showed you how I clean it afterwards. When I don't use the whole thing, I don't even put it in the sink. All right, so I just put a wipe underneath on the backing. Making sure that I have it in all of the areas where I actually put the paste. So I might need to get another one here. This is what I do when I'm crafting or when I'm doing lives. Okay, so then I just pull it back down over the top of the wipes, you guys, like so. And then I use my mister. I mist it and get it wet, like so. And then I just set this off to the side. I have a towel on the floor that I set it on. And then when we're all done, I'll go back and clean it. I'll wipe it off with the wipes. I wipe that mess, that wet mess that I had. I wipe that off with the wipes, and then I turn it over back to the back side, and I'll wipe it again. And then I use my board eraser, my wet board eraser, and just clean it. And honestly, I don't even have to mess with getting this big giant one off of the backing and having it stick to the bigger ones are harder to clean. Anyway, I won't put that in the sink just like that. Okay, you guys, look at how beautiful that is. That is so gorgeous. Okay, let me dry that though. Let's dry it. I want to put this wording here that says 1 mile ahead, pumpkin cider and hay rides over the top of this. But we're gonna make sure it's dry because I'm gonna put another stencil right over the top. Let me show you what this is gonna look like on this. Oh my gosh, you guys. Let me make sure this is completely dry. I get so excited sometimes I don't dry it all the way. Okay. I got glue stuck to my dryer. You guys, look at this. Look at how amazing this is going to look on here. Oh, there we go. There, look at that. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I should put it over here to kind of, wondering, does it draw away from my my little other pumpkin that's a little higher? I might need to put some more Spanish moss over here. All right, let's see. Let's figure out which way we're going to do this though. Oh, I have glue everywhere on this thing. I think I like it on this side. Okay, I have to make sure we have the arrow going the right way. All right, so we're just going to use the words. We're not going to use the arrow because we already have an arrow. Let me get my opposing cloth. All right. I should probably cover up the arrows so that I do not go over it, because knowing myself, I 100% will not be paying attention and I will go over that arrow. So let me get these teeth. I'm going to cover this up so that I do not put the arrow on there, because I already know I will. All right. I'm thinking the blue. I wish I had the darker blue, but I do not. I do not have the cadet. Oh. My fingernails are so short, I have a hard time getting this open, you guys. Okay. Let's see, is that going to be dark enough? I think it's going to work. Okay, let's do this one. Just get a little bit of this paste. This one is Colonial Blue. Okay, I have to be careful not to get the pumpkin. Covered the arrows, but I didn't cover the pumpkin. All right, just pull that through. Like so. Oh, gosh, you guys. Look at that. Now we'll just rough the edges up a little bit with some ink. And I'm going to go ahead and put this one in my bucket of water, because this one is smaller. Okay. Let me dry my hands, you guys. Okay, let's, where is my ink pads? I have so much stuff over here, you guys. I know I brought them. Here they are. All right, I'm going to use the ground espresso and kind of just rough the edges up a little bit, give it that vintage look. Nothing big, nothing drastic. Just kind of at the edges. I think my ink pad might be getting a little bit dry. There we go. There it is. Whoop, a little bit too much. All right. There we go. I don't know if you guys can really see it, but. All right. Done with that. We will attach this here. Look at how gorgeous that is, you guys. I think I'm going to put a little E6000. It's my go-to just in the event. I don't want the hot glue to not keep this from sticking. Okay, did I let it dry up already? I have gunk in my lid and it makes it really hard to get the lid on. Okay, just a little bit, and then we'll use some hot glue as well. Yeah, see, I can hardly get my lid on. So you want to use the hot glue and your E6000 because the hot glue will help it temporarily adhere, while the E6000, once it's dry, will be more permanent. Okay. I'm going to put some more moss right there under that one that I got kind of crooked. Let me get my finger protectors. Yeah, I did burn my finger pretty good already. I can feel it. All right, you might need more moss on the other side now. Oh yeah, that definitely helps make it look not so so crooked. But I think I need some more moss on the other side to fill it in a little bit. To make it just as full. All right, you guys, we're almost done. It looks fabulous. I love it. I love to see what twists you guys come up with. I wanted to do a blue and yellow and get away from the traditional orange pumpkin. I just thought this was cute and very pretty fabric that I had. Plus there is a lot of blue going on right now out there in the decorative world. And I just thought that this might appeal to those people that are using blue to decorate. And there we go. I love it, you guys. Let me know what you think. If you liked this, please tatter. I keep forgetting my new word, tatter. Sprinkle. Tatter it across Facebook for me. Tag some friends. Help me grow my page. I really appreciate you guys sticking out with me and watching this, and leave comments as you come back and watch the replay. I'd love your feedback. And if you like this and you want to recreate it, please share what you made. Have a great day, you guys. See you next time.